Hello, we're back here with another video, guys, and today we'll be talking about who will the Cleveland Cavaliers be drafting with the 5th overall pick. If you haven't seen my last 4 videos, I did the last 4 draft picks, and with those being number 1 pick, Anthony Edwards, number 2 pick, James Wiseman, number 3 pick, LaMelo Ball, number 4 pick, Denny Avita. And now we're on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if you do have an opinion, please let me hear it down below at any time during this video. While you're watching, drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. So there's 2 guys that I firmly believe, and a third wild card that I do firmly believe could be a choice for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's talk about the first guy, and this is because, look, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers, when I go into these 2 players, I'm going to give a reason on why. So with the first one, it's going to be Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin really interests me, and that's because of one reason. I think the Cavaliers are going to trade Kevin Love at some point this season. Like in the next year, I don't think Kevin Love will be in a Cavaliers jersey. And I really need to take a sip of water, so we're going to do this real quick. Damn, that was a lot of water. Either way. So Obi Toppin would be a perfect replacement for Kevin Love. Let's say halfway by the trade deadline, they're like, hey, we don't want Kevin Love. Let's get rid of Kevin Love for as much assets. Okay, that's fine. You have Obi Toppin, who's been learning from Kevin Love, who's been mentoring him, hopefully. And Obi Toppin can then go in and with a system next to, hopefully they keep Andre Drummond, and they can run a 4 out and a 1 in system. So Andre Drummond's job is, you tell him, look, you don't take any shot unless it's in the paint within 5 feet of the basket. And if you're not, and your only other job is to get as many offensive rebounds as you possibly can. So then you have 4 shooters: Obi Toppin, Darius Garland, Colin Sexton on the floor, and C.D. Osman or whoever you want as a shooter. And those guys, you tell them only to take 3-pointers. So you're only taking 3s and taking 2 with Drummond taking the rebound and Obi Toppin stretching the floor. That could work. And then on defense, I know he's a little bit of a liability, and you can maybe run like a 2-1-2 zone. I don't know how that would work. But that's the first option. If you go with Obi Toppin, which I think is like a legitimate option. Is a very, very legitimate option. The next one is, you're like, look, we don't want to get rid of Kevin Love. We kind of like Kevin Love. And we're trying to keep Kevin Love, and we want a guy who can be an immediate contributor, and he just needs to work on his offensive side, but we have a lot of offensive, we have a lot of offensive scoring. So why worry about the offensive scoring if this guy is a defensive first guy? So we go with Isaac Okoro. So let me take another sip. So with Isaac Okoro, the best part about him is, look, Isaac Okoro, if you're going to keep Kevin Love, now you got Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, who love to shoot. Kevin Love loves to shoot. And Andre Drummond's a good defender, but not the best defender. Now you throw Isaac Okoro in there at the small forward. You got 3 guys who are really good at shooting, and now you got 2 good, above average to good defenders right there. Isaac Okoro has a possibility to be like Andre Iguodala if he really develops his shot in his offensive game, or he could be what Michael Kidd-Gilchrist couldn't develop into it. I know Michael Kidd-Gilchrist had injuries and all that, so maybe he could develop into a better player than Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was, but similar in style. That they're not like super, like maybe he's better offensive than MKG is right now, but like obviously you know what I mean. And Isaac Okoro is a guy that's like move down right here. He's 6'6", he's 225. He can guard the 1 through the 4 with ease, and even some of these small ball 5s. And I really think he would be a good fit, Isaac Okoro. If they draft Obi Toppin, it's because they're trying to get rid of Kevin Love, which I personally think they're trying to get rid of Kevin Love. But if they don't draft Obi Toppin, it's probably because they're trying to keep Kevin Love, or maybe they're trying to go ultra small ball and put Isaac at the fucking 4. I don't think they're gonna do that, but like, you get the point. I really do firmly believe Isaac should. I like Isaac better than Obi Toppin. I like defense so much better than a guy who shows offense but is a liability on defense, because that's the problem with Obi Toppin, is that he is a liability on defense, while this guy's more. He's not a liability on offense. He can score, but he just can't really create his own shot. You know, you pick him and you choose him. So the next guy, and the last choice, is I've seen him, and look, could he be a stretch? Maybe. He's very high on my board. Devin Vassell. I've seen people compare him to a more athletic Klay Thompson. I've seen, a better version of Courtney Lee. I think that's what his ceiling is. His ceiling is a more athletic Klay Thompson, with his floor being a more athletic Courtney Lee, or a better shooting Courtney Lee, a better version of Courtney Lee, but a similar player. That's his floor. Similar player to Courtney Lee, but a better version of it. And his ceiling is more athletic Klay Thompson, a guy who's a really good 3-and-D wing, who's, an all-star, and he's going to be shooting 40% pretty much immediately from his time in the NBA. Besides that, he is just one of, if not the most interesting prospects, just because of his physical profile. He's around 6'7" with a reported 7-foot wingspan. You see that? And he's just wired. He interests me so much, and I really do think he could be one of the best players in this draft. And I think he's going under a lot of people's radars. I even think he's ranked really low. I think he's going to be drafted a lot higher than the rankings say. And I honestly think he's better than Patrick Williams. I draft Devin Vassell over Patrick Williams. I think he's a lot better, and he's been on my rankings. I have him as a top 10 pick on my boards. Am I being overzealous? I don't think so. I think he's going to be one of those guys who people are going to be like, oh, how was he so good? And it's just like, if you really dug deep into analysis and you saw how he's been playing, you just know. You just know he's a lot better. And he should be higher ranked, in my opinion. He just has you can tell he's been watching like Klay and other guys on the 3-and-D. He's so good on the defensive end, like from his IQ and his basketball, like, and just his basketball IQ and his intangibles in the game. He just knows what to do and where to be and how to position himself on offense and defense. Great off the ball guy, and he has some shot creation within himself. So yeah, I really do think I think they're gonna draft Obi Toppin, because that's probably what their plans is. But I think they should draft Isaac Okoro. And the wild card's obviously Devin Vassell. Tell me what you guys think if you want Obi Toppin or Isaac Okoro. I personally think it should be Isaac Okoro. Like I said, I do think they're going to draft Obi Toppin just because it's Cleveland Cavaliers and they're just going to fuck it up somehow. But I don't know. Could I be wrong? I probably could be. But I don't think so. I think they're going to do Obi Toppin. Because then, yeah, I really do think that it's going to do Obi Toppin. It just fits in their plan. They want to get rid of his contract, Kevin Love's contract. And yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. So let me know down below, guys. As always, I hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. But peace out.